Raphael still. I'll hand on to Gardo after this, after the evening. You see, just after dark I realised I had something very, very, very important because the police arrived and asked for it back. You don't see many police in Bahala because in a shanty you sort out your own problems. There's not a lot to steal, and we don't usually steal from each other, though it happens. We had a murder a few months ago, and the police came then. An old man killed his wife, slit her throat and left her bleeding down the walls to the shack underneath. By the time they'd come, he'd run, and we never heard whether they got him. We had 4 police cars come as on an election visit, surrounding a man who wanted to be mayor, lights flashing and radios crackling away because they all love a show, these police. Otherwise, they have better things to do. This time it was 5 men, one of them looking very important, like a senior officer, older man, fatter man, more of a boxer with a smashed up nose, no hair and a mean look. The sun had gone down. There was a cooking fire where my auntie was boiling up the rice, and tonight, on account of the money I'd found, we were having that precious 180 chicken. About 30 of us were gathered, not all to eat one chicken. That was just for the family. But it's hot in the evenings, so people are out squatting, standing, roaming. I think Gardo had a ball and we'd been fooling around under the hoop. Now we all stood out in the headlights of this big black 4-wheel drive, and the men got out. The boxer cop had a quick chat with Thomas, who's the main man in our little patch, and then he was talking to all of us. A friend of ours has a problem, he said, voice like a megaphone. It's a pretty big problem, and we're hoping you can help. Fact is, he's lost something important. We're giving good money to anyone who finds it. Another fact is, if anyone here finds it, we're going to give 1,000 pesos to every family in Bahala. You understand? That is how important it is to our friend. And we're giving 10,000 to you, to the one who actually puts it in my hand. What have you lost? Said a man. We've lost a bag, said the policeman, and my skin went dry and cold, but I managed not to show it. He turned and took something from the man behind him and held it up. It was a handbag made of black plastic, big as my hand. It probably looks like this, he said. Bit bigger, bit smaller, not exactly the same, but similar. We think this bag might have something important in it that's going to help us solve a crime. When did you lose it? Said someone. Last night, said the policeman. It was put in the trash by mistake, out on McKinley Hill, somewhere around there, and the truck picked up all the McKinley trash this morning. That means it's either here right now or coming in tomorrow. He watched us, and we watched him. Has anyone found a bag? I felt Gardo's eyes fixed on me. I so nearly raised my hand. I so nearly spoke up then and there, because 10,000 is good money. And 1,000 to every family? That's what they were promising, and if they gave it, oh my, I'd be the most popular boy in the neighbourhood. But I didn't, because I was also thinking fast, thinking that I could as well give it up in the morning, just as now. I'd better be clear. I'd never had any trouble with the police before then, so it wasn't that I didn't like them or didn't want to be helpful. But everyone knows not to trust too far. What if they just took it and drove off laughing? What was I going to do to stop them? I needed time to think, and so I stood there, dumb. Maybe there was a bit of calculation going on as well. If they had money to give away, then they could be raised up over 10 and we could all get it up front. If it was precious enough for them to come all this way out to see us, then perhaps 10,000 would turn into 20. My auntie said, Raphael found something, sir. She nodded and all the police were looking straight at me. What did you find? Said the boss. I didn't find a bag, sir, I said. What did you find? I found a shoe. Somebody laughed. What kind of shoe? One shoe? When was this? One shoe, sir. Just a lady's shoe. I can get it. It's in my house. What makes you think we're going to be interested in that? You playing games? He was looking back at my auntie, and her eyes were back on the rice, and then on me, and then on the rice. He said he found something, she said. He never said what he found. Just trying to be helpful, sir. The cop in charge spoke loudly. Listen, we're going to be back here in the morning, he said. We're going to pay anyone who wants work. 1 day, 1 week, however long it takes. We need to find that bag, and we'll pay to find it. One of the other policemen walked over to me, quite a young man. Guido was right next to me then, and the policeman put his hand under my chin and tilted my head up. I looked into his eyes, trying so hard not to look scared. He was smiling, but I was glad to feel Guido right up against me, and I smiled back as best I could. What's your name? He said. I told him. Brothers? Sisters? This your brother? My best friend, sir. This is Guido. Where do you live, son? I told him everything, fast and happy, smiling hard, and I watched him fix our house in his mind and then fix my face. He rubbed my ear gently, like I was a kid. He said, You going to help us tomorrow, Raphael? How old are you? 14, sir. I know I look younger. Where's your father? No father, sir. That was your ma? Auntie. You want work, Raphael? You going to help? Sure, I said. How much you paying? I'll work forever. I made my smile bigger and my eyes wider, trying just to be an excited, harmless, cute little trash boy. 100, he said. 100 for the day, but if you find that bag. I want to help too, said Gardo, pretending to be 8 years old and showing his teeth. What's in the bag, sir? More money? Bits and pieces. Nothing valuable, but what kind of crime? I said. How's it going to help you solve a crime? Is it a murder? The policeman smiled at me some more. He looked at Gardo too. I don't even think it will, he said, but we've got to give it our best shot. He was looking at me hard again, and Gardo's arm was right round me. I'll see you tomorrow. Then the policeman climbed back into their car and drove on, and we made sure we stood right up close to show we weren't afraid, and we made sure we ran with the car and waved. Now, Bahala's full of little neighbourhoods just like ours. The shacks we live in grow up out of the trash piles, bamboo and string piled upwards. It's like little villages in amongst the hills. We watched the car rocking over the ruts and holes, the lights going up and down. If they wanted to talk to everyone, they'd have to make the same speech 10 times. Later on, my auntie came close and said, Why are you telling lies, Rafael Fernandez? I found a wallet, I said. I gave you what I found. Why did you say that to them? She came close and she spoke quietly. You found the bag, didn't you? Tell me now. No, I said. I found money. Why did you say a shoe? Why did you not tell the truth? I shrugged and tried to be sly. Ma, I thought they'd want the wallet back, I said. Money in a wallet. Where's the wallet now? I'm going to get it. I just didn't want to speak up in front of everyone looking right at me, and you found the wallet in a bag? You can't lie to me. No, I said. No. She looked at me again and shook her head. You're going to get us into a lot of trouble, I think. Whose wallet was it? People always have a name, and if you... I just took the money, I said. I'll throw the damn thing away right now. You give it to the police. Why? It's not what they're looking for, Ma. I didn't find a bag. Oh, boy, she said. Raphael, what I'm thinking is, if they're throwing money around to get that something back, you don't want to be caught messing around with it. I'm serious, Raphael. If you found anything like the thing they're wanting, you need to give it up. First thing in the morning, when they're back. Gardo ate with us. He often did, just as I often ate with him and his uncle. I spent the night at his, just as he spent the night at ours. I'd wake up forgetting which place I was in and who was under the blanket with me. Anyway, just as we finished, the police car came back, big and black, and drove right out the gates. We watched it go. I couldn't believe Auntie had said what she said. I knew she'd had problems with the police before on account of my father, and I guess she had some feeling, even then, that things were going to get complicated. I think she wanted to stop it all there, all at once, but I still say she was wrong. It was one of the things that made leaving easy. I went up to my house, Gardo following. We live high compared to many, 2 rooms built out of truck pallets, with plastic and canvas holding it fast, and it's stacked over 3 families below. You go up 3 stepladders to get to it. First, the bit where Auntie and my half-sister sleep, and beyond that's another little box, about the size of a sheet. That's where me and my cousins go, and Gardo too when he's with us. My cousins were in there now, snoring away, and all around was the sound of neighbours' chatter and laughter, and radios, and someone calling. I moved one of the cousins along, and we got close into the side where I store my things. It's a crate that beer came in, and it's up on one side. I've got a spare pair of shorts, another 2 t-shirts, and a pair of slippers. I've also got my little spread of treasures like all the boys do. With me it's a penknife I found, with a broken blade. Still a good little tool. I've got a cup with the picture of the Virgin Mary. I've got a watch that doesn't go. I've got a little plastic duck, which the cousins play with, and I've got one pair of jeans. The jeans were for wrapping up the precious bag, and it felt dangerous just to be unwrapping it. Gardo held a candle close and sat hunched, watching me. We were both bending over it. When I glanced up at him, his lips were thin. The whites of his eyes stood out like a pair of eggs. We've got to move it, he said. You can't leave it here, boy. I think you're right, I said. Where to? He paused. I pulled out the ID and looked at the man. Jose Angelico, looking back at me sadly, and his little girl, more serious. What do you think he's done? I said. Something bad, said Gardo. And when they come back, I think they're going to talk to you again. You see the way that guy was looking at you? I nodded. You see the way he was touching you? He's got you fixed. I know, I said. You too, maybe, I laughed. Think he wants to be our special friend? This isn't funny, said Gardo. We need Rat. Why Rat? I'm thinking it's about the only place they're not going to look. You think he'd take it, though? Rat's not stupid. Give him 10, he'll take it. Break his arms if he doesn't. Gardo took the ID and put it away. They won't go down there, the police. They won't even see him. I knew it was a good plan. I knew it was the only plan as well, because we had to get it out of the house. Do it now? I said. Gardo nodded. Don't threaten him, though, I said. He'll do it for me.